All right, well, I could not find a decent video explaining how to do this without a lot of extraneous chit chat. So I'm going to try and make one for us. This is a video to explain the Loomis method, which is a method of using like a grid of eight eight equally spaced sections to find the correct proportions in drawing a human figure. You can use a ruler. I have a couple different, this is my clear sewing ruler. This is just, your average ruler. I grabbed this one because it has multiple measurements on it. So depending on how big you want your drawing to be, it needs to be divisible by 8. So you want to take that into consideration when you're choosing your ruler. Or if you'd like, you can also just use something, just any old thing. You can eyeball it if you'd like, or you can just use something, here's my flash drive, and I want all of my sections to be that big. As long as you can measure out 8 equal spaces, then you're going to have a nicely proportioned figure. So that's important. So how you start the Loomis method is down the center of your paper, or wherever it is you're going to draw your figure. You're going to draw your first line that is divisible by 8. So I'm going to, I like to draw mine big. You should always draw your big. If you're going to draw for someone else, you want to get as much detail in it if you're going to hand the rendering over to someone who's going to build your design, because you want to get as much detail in there as possible, because again, communication is key when you want your team that's building for you to be successful. They're not mind readers. So here we have our center line. Then I'm going to just divide it by 8. You're going to do this in your pencil with the harder lead, so you get softer lines so that it's easier for you to erase all of this later. And I'm using a mechanical pencil because I am incredibly lazy. I like a sharp point and I don't like to stop. It's a bad habit I've gotten myself into. I would not recommend you start drawing with a mechanical pencil because I want you to get in the habit of learning about the different hardnesses and softnesses of our pencil leads. So this is how it starts. Here's your head, down to your feet, down to your feet. Depending on the type of person you're drawing, a woman is typically about 1 inch on each side off of center, and a man is, I believe, inch and a quarter off of center. That's how I like to do it. Everybody comes in different shapes and sizes. If you have a character in your script who's has a little more girth to them, you might want to add a little bit more to the left or right. Personally, I think if I were drawing myself, I would be like at a 2. If I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've met me. I am having surgery soon too. So maybe if you've met me prior to my surgery, anyways, I'm currently at a 2. I'm going to keep hitting the camera. I'm sorry. It's like right in my face. So what you're going to do next is, who do I want to draw? I'll draw, I don't know, I'll do a 1 1/4 and see how it goes. Next, you're going to go off your line here. And you're going to do 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 at the top. And down here at the bottom, you're going to do 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. And you're going to connect all those lines together. And then I'm going to make this attach here. We're going to go across here. I'm a little bit off. I keep looking through the phone as opposed to the paper, so my lines are off a tiny bit, like right there. So it's a little tricky. I'll be a little more careful. You want to keep these as nice and straight across as possible. You could go back and measure 8 inches down on each side, but nobody has time for that. Okay, so here we have our grid. Our person is very tall. So we're going to start up here at the head. The head takes up this whole first section. I like to draw the head by drawing divided into thirds. So the top of the head will be here, the chin will be down here. I like to start by drawing a nice full circle here. It's hard to draw a circle, so if you need to go over a couple times, don't forget you're going to be erasing it, so it doesn't matter. And then down here, fill in the rest of that. So that's your head shape. And then when you're ready, you got a nice head shape that you like, you can erase. This is why artists do pencils. They don't go right to pen. And again, divide it into thirds. And then the neck comes right down to here. Like this. And I get a little more of this out of here. Excuse me, sorry. And then these up here will be your shoulders, and these go straight across. Right here. Okay, so do you see where we're starting to go with this? The next part here, this would be where your nipples would go. So armpit, nipples, straight across. We don't have to draw all that in right now because that's detail. And if you're drawing clothing, not something that we need, but we do want to put our torso lines in here. So this would be arm, body, okay? We want to do more lines in thirds. And this would be your waist. And it comes out about, you know, half of the point here and here. Again, depending on the person's size, you know, the person that you're drawing. You always have to think of your actor and what their shape looks like. You don't want to hand your actor a rendering that looks nothing like them. So if you have the opportunity to meet your actors or know your actors or have your show cast before you get started, which is rare, it's always nice to throw a little bit of that personalization in to your renderings, you know? So then you're gonna take this down here just to fill out the rest of the waist. And then from here, we're going to start working on like the stomach into hip area, okay? So this would, if we were drawing a line on most forms, would come straight down like this. So we want to do here to here, and it would go kind of rounded like this, like so. You want to leave that like it's a straight, but then it kind of rounds itself out like that a bit. And then we skip this one, and then we go down to here where I mentioned before. You draw a circle, and you draw a circle about to the center. That's not the center. Looking through the middle. All right, right across the center of this line. My person's going to stand bow-legged. Little tiny. Okay. Oh gosh, why can't I do this? You know what I'm doing wrong? I'm not supposed to do it through the line. That's why it doesn't look right. Okay, I remember what I'm doing wrong. Here in the corner, a circle. That's what I'm doing wrong. A circle right there like that. And from there, you draw the rest of the leg. Okay. And then down here, you draw an oval. And an oval. And these are your ankle bones. And this goes like this. And like this. And then the feet go like this. And if you want to turn it, it kind of looks like a duck foot. I've never been very good at feet. We're just going to do 2 feet dead on, because right now, that's what I got in me. I have not had coffee yet, and I am furloughed due to COVID. Oh, I forgot these lines up in here. And I'm a little bit rusty. So up here in the corners, you're going to draw just like we did here in this corner. In this corner, we're going to draw a circle. And from there, we're going to draw our arms. So down here at our line, that's our waist, we're going to draw our elbows. Elbows come again straight down, little circle. And we're going to connect those. Like we can't, whoop, arms don't work that way. So this is like a very straight, stiff figure. This is just the most basic form. Hi, I'm standing here like I'm at attention. Once you get the hang of drawing a body in proportion, you can start doing the more dynamic poses. I just didn't want to like chase you away. once you're comfortable doing this and getting this formula down, then I would encourage you to start playing around with arms and legs. And the best advice I ever got while learning to draw figures is once you're done, before you put it in pen, is to try and stand in the same way that your figure is drawing. And if you don't tip over, then you've done a good job. But for now, we're going to stick to this. Hands go about halfway down past the leg. This section here about halfway. Okay? And that is a proportioned figure. From here, what you'll do is take one of your softer leads, and you can start drawing in your clothing. So I want her to have a very tight skirt. She's very sexy. And I want it to have a slit up her leg. I want her to have, let's see, what kind of a blouse do I want her to have? Something pretty. No, I want her to be a strong lady. Buttons. I want this to be a blouse. Oops. I want there to be a little bit of a peak here in her shoulders. I want French cuffs. I want a dart here. 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 I want her to have a belt. So I take my soft lead to make, I want my soft lead to make hard lines and draw my design out. Don't forget a face and hair. If you forget a face and hair, your makeup and your wig designer are just going to do whatever they want. I like big hair. Okay. And then you're going to take a thin, let me see which is my thin side. I can never remember. Broad. It says right on there, broad. You can take, I like them finer than this. So I use a Sharpie. Ugh. Come on, Sharpie, don't fail me now. Don't make me look bad. And very carefully, I go over my pencil marks and draw my design in. Okay. to be careful not to draw any of the figure proportion lines because I don't want those in my design. I'm going to erase those when I'm all done. And I want darts here and here. Ooh, that's a weird little crooked leg. Oh no, what happened to her leg? We won't look at that one. Okay. Her head. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, that's why you don't go away from your drawing. Oh, that was horrible. We'll call that the, I did that on purpose. What not to do. She's a hard-working lady. She got big hair. All right, now that that's all done, I didn't think to dig out my eraser, so I'm just going to use the back of my pencil, and we erase all of these pencil lines, which when you have the appropriate art eraser, makes life so much easier. And as you see, I erased all of those little circles that I had in here. Oh, what do I do? What happened to you, lady? She was in a car wreck on her way to work. She's so devoted to her 9 o'clock meeting that she just came to work with a broken leg. All right. Ta-da! Perfectly proportioned human. Just don't look at this leg or my fingers. Oh my gosh, where's my ruler? There you go. It's not going to win me a Tony, but let me just say, it's going to get the message across to my design team. And I have communicated my lines. I have communicated, let's see. Oh, look at that. I've communicated important construction details. Once I go back in with color, I will have shared that important information. My little lines here, like, shows that this fabric has some drape to it. It has a nice hand. My movement in the fabric up here shows that it has some gathering up here. The lack of movement here shows that it's pretty well fitted, I think. So yeah. They might have questions about how this jacket, is the jacket tucked into the belt? I think that would, if I were making this, that would confuse me. Is this a dress with an inset? Like, how does this, like, what is this? Why is her jacket tucked into her belt? Like, something I obviously didn't think about when I was putting this look together. I just went, oh, it needs a belt. Is it a short bolero jacket? Like, they'll have questions about that. And if I wanted to, I could make a note. You want to do this to indicate that this is not part of your design. This line means don't build me. I'm making a note. short tailored, oh, hit the camera again, sorry. Short tailored bolero jacket to avoid any questions that they might ask. Hits top of belt. Okay, so that is that's that. I hope this helps. Please give me a question. Nope, that's not the sentence I wanted to say. Please email me if you have any questions. Don't worry if you don't get it perfect on the first try. It's a skill, it's a talent. It's not something anyone is born knowing how to do. I've been doing this for years, you know, it takes a lot of practice. So that's what we're doing now. We're building it up. We're learning it. We're going to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. All right. So, good luck. Have fun. Underline fun. One last thing that I forgot to tell you. She's certainly floating in air right now. Something you want to do. Give her a floor to stand on. All right. Have fun, you guys. Draw me some pretty pictures. Bye.